Awesome. Hello,
Hello.
Mark. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, how did you find us?
So I actually have been trying to look into like helping, not to have a long-winded answer, but I was hoping to see if I can somehow join or help contribute to like people of color and people of different nationalities to contribute more, have more of a presence. And I saw that this had started recently and figured I'd join it and see how I can help out. So yeah.
Yeah. So, where did you find it? Because it's brand new. Now I'm curious.
So I think I was in the CNCF Slack channel and I was just looking around, if that makes sense. Just like searching for like, contributing and just like diversity. And so I think that kind of just like filtered for certain channels and I was like, oh, let me look at the BI plus POC. And I was like, this might be the channel that I'm looking for in the CSCF Slack channel. And so that's when I joined. So it was kind of like a rabbit hole type of situation.
That's awesome because we haven't really started promoting it yet.
Okay.
But I think one of the things I wanted to discuss with William, we desperately need. Oh, you have. Okay, that's good.
I did.
But like officially, like with the CNCF help and so on, we haven't. So,
Nice.
anyways, William, you're here, so you can.
Hey,
Yep.
welcome, Mark. It's great that you are around. I saw him really briefly because I joined the other meeting by mistake. So I sent out two meetings, right? Um, so what? I was hoping that Rosalind would be here, but Mark, I don't know if you have access. We're working on a chart, right? We're working on the BIPOC. Well, I
I
say
see that.
BIPOC. I don't know how you guys say. I say BIPOC.
That's
I
how
don't
I
know.
wrote it too. And
Okay.
Mark, just for context, so Travis is here as well. He's part of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing working group. So he relies on captions. So one thing that we're trying to do is kind of speak clearly and not talk over each other, so he can really follow the conversation. Important
Understood.
context.
Nice to meet you, Travis, by the way.
And absolutely true. I was going on a mumble rumble. So sorry, Travis. I should be more mindful that what I say should count. um, so, so what we are working on is the charter. The first item that we need to work on is the charter for the working group, or at least the working group to be. We already have put some stuff together. There is a draft charter, and then that I will be sharing in a minute. Let me put it in the chat. Meanwhile, you already did. Fantastic, Catherine. So there are things that I don't really grasp, Catherine. So you are suggesting that the charter aligns very much with the abide, which I agree.
Yeah, so I was thinking, because the goals are they're basically they apply to any underrepresented group. So I was thinking instead of, because we're trying to work on it with the blind and visually impaired group as well. And I was like, we're trying to say exactly the same thing. And I was wondering, why not just refer to abide and say that each of the underlying groups will try to implement that for specific needs and for that specific group. So I thought that might help, simplify things, because I see a lot of people struggling with, like, how do we formulate it? And at the end of the day is we want more representation, we want more visibility, we want employers to be more inclusive. It doesn't matter. We want all the same things, whether you're deaf, blind, a person of color, or LGBTQ, right? I assume it's always the same. If there is something that is very specific for a group that is identified throughout the process, we can add that. We can add that because I assume it all applies. No one is going to say to that, but maybe there's something specific to a group, and then we can say like, and we're trying to do this. I don't know. Thought might
Yes.
be simpler.
Yes. I understand. I needed to understand this indeed. I think we could do that. We are what I don't like personally when I read a document is, and it's gonna sound weird, references to another one for the case building. So I explain myself. Like I would like to read it and be self-standing. Nevertheless, there should be notes that say that refer that these are still the goals of the overarching abide. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does, because a lot of people do not click. So we could kind of we could say like that the same vision and so on applies, and then copy it there and mention that those are the abide
Yes.
vision and mission.
Yes. I like that. Yes. Yes, something like that.
And by the way, we will have to change the name Abide. We had a conversation with the Linux Foundation, and there is a whole for new initiatives. There is a trademark thing, and it was like, really a trademark? Do we have they are trademarking bigger initiatives. So by the way, Mark, so basically what we're doing, so the first group that existed is that started as the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group, and we're trying to do a larger group that the goal of which is to promote inclusivity, accessibility, and equity, but having like several groups underneath it, but all coordinate, right? Because we all want the same goals, but still have each group focus on their own needs, and because like that's always different, right? So we don't want to dilute it by creating a whole group that is all where everyone wants to try to get their needs met, like like we have like smaller groups, but overall we all are part of this bigger group. So we are in the moment talking to the Linux Foundation. We're going to create a initiative that is broader, and then eventually these are all going to go underneath that. And so that's why we're saying Abide is like the bigger one, and I can share the proposal for that, and then this is how it kind of fits in. Yeah.
Is Abide just like the name, or is abbreviated for something, or
Yeah, it's exactly. So it is, let me see again, because accessibility, belonging through inclusion, diversity, and equity. So we're trying to get rid of the DEIA word because it's so tainted.
Right.
Gotcha. And I mean, the idea is still good, but people have misused it, right? And marketing BS and what.
Yeah.
So yeah, and people are disillusioned with those initiatives. So I think the idea is still good and relevant, but maybe the name has been.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah. No, it's when I was at KubeCon last year, I got to meet some of the deaf and hard of hearing folks from that work, and that I was just, it was really awesome meeting them. And so I think that also kind of drove me to like start thinking about being a part of a group or somehow contributing to. So I call it fate.
That's great.
So thanks, Catherine, for this introduction. What I am thinking of, I'm looking at the document, right, at the charter, and so we cannot name abide, is from what I understand.
We need to look for another name. So we have to come up with a different name because like abide is a word. Also yes.
Okay. Oh, I understand what you mean. Yeah, abide is a word, and
it's a trademark. They will trademark it. I was very surprised. It's like, why do you need to trademark it? It's just like a initiative, and because it's like a Linux Foundation thing, apparently it is important. So right now, Abide doesn't have a name, but we can still call it Abide. So I think like for our purposes, let's call it Abide until we have a different name, because otherwise, but
okay.
let's just even in the doc, let's call it Abide for now until we have a different name. But
okay. So what I will do, I will write another. So I will re-edit the charter, and I will align it more with the abide wording, at least, and I will make the references. But still, those goals that are in there, I find them compelling.
Well, the goals are always, I think, different.
Same.
Well, the goal. The goals are the same. The strategies are different, right? Because there are different challenges depending on which group. So I think the goal about like, I mean, like, yeah. So the goals are the strategies are the ones that will differ.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mission and the vision, right? Like the overarching thing, that's for all minorities and underrepresented groups. I feel like pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But again, like this is just for me, like a proposal to simplify things because I've seen a lot of struggles going with that. So if you feel you would prefer to word it differently or add to it, so feel free. So this is just me suggesting, right, to simplify things so we can have a charter and then start like doing social media posts that the CMCF can share because we need to get more people involved, right?
Yes. I think, Travis, you wanted to say something, or Mark? I didn't.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I know it had not been contributing, to the charter lately. I've been busy, with the other group. Yeah. But um, I am going to contribute to the charter that, in December after the KubeCon. But we do need more people in the group, because, even, case in point, the calendar, there's not many of us like, um, OSPP, the implications. So I was worried if somebody going to come to the meeting or so. Yeah. Um, it's a lot.
Travis,
Yeah.
don't I told you already, so don't feel pressured to contribute because you're doing both. Because Travis was like, oh, I don't know, I want to participate, but I don't have time. And it's like just being here and contributed during the meeting is enough. Let's find people who don't have a different working group. And I know you were also working on your Kubernetes certifications. So that's a lot of work. So don't feel pressured. Just,
Yeah.
like just
Thanks.
because I know there's a lot of just
Yeah.
participating in the meetings is a lot. All right. I mean, it's appreciated. We love that you're here.
Mhm.
And I also think it's a great opportunity for you to meet other people who are in the Kubernetes world, because I don't know about Mark, but I know William is very knowledgeable. So, and we probably have, we might have people here who are more familiar with Kubernetes in our deaf and hard of hearing working group. So this is also an opportunity to maybe find people you can ask questions, which because one of the core goals of this group is to find supporting people who can, help you career-wise and on the technology side. So that's why I wanted you to be here in the meetings and meet everyone. So don't feel pressure, because I know you have a lot on your plate.
Absolutely, Travis. Don't. I personally don't expect anyone to do more than what they feel, can, want, or whatever any other shape of situation. It's I have time, and I have the will to dedicate and the wish to dedicate. I do. I don't. It's also okay. So absolutely no. And whatever technical questions you have, shoot. I'm always up for the challenge.
Yeah. It should always be fun. It should never be stressful. If it's stressful, then stop.
Yeah.
That's what work is for. Work is already stressful enough, so this should not be stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just here for like the learning experience, so I back to the calendar point. So I was nervous that it's gonna be like me, Destiny, and then I'm like, well, wait, we're supposed to be a minority when it comes to like BIPOC. So but yes, I'm hoping for more people to come in and share their experience. I really want to see LC Hightower at the conference, but I don't know if he's coming. So he's coming. Sweet.
100%.
Yeah.
I met him several times, so this 100% is going to be there.
Great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great.
Okay. So actions. So I will work. I will rework on the charter. I will clean up some stuff that we have agreed upon and realign a little bit with the abide and make references. I see some things already that can be cleaned up, like what Rosalind canceled out. In my opinion, it's okay. I'm okay with it. The vision, the details, like the empower part. I'm with you, Catherine. But I think it's more a matter of rewording it, because that's the target, the vision or not. We want to create a platform for individuals to lead and thrive. That's at least what I'm thinking. I'm a little bit open. I don't know. Can you all see the charter? Mark, can you see the charter?
Yeah, so I'm reading the vision part now.
Okay. So empower BIPOC individuals to thrive and lead in the cloud native and open source ecosystem, fostering diverse and inclusive community for future generations. So, Catherine, do you want to express your feelings about the empower? I know it's a bit vague. You already said it. Hi, Destiny.
Well, again, this is like, I leave that up to you. Hello. I'll leave that up to you. Like, I'm here to facilitate. This is your charter.
Ooh, it's not mine.
Your group as a group.
It's ours. Yes.
But
so okay, let's do like this. Let's do like this. Let's all for a moment forget about everything in that document. and let's focus only on one thing, only on the vision, only on that statement. Short, sweet, and strong. We don't have to do it now. We have 6 minutes left, but if we could all focus just on that statement, on the vision. The vision is what drives everything, right? The mission, the goals, the strategy. If we could dedicate a little bit of brain power to that vision, and we move it forward. I think that's the important thing. If we are not aligned on what the vision should be, we can't develop a mission. Maybe so it is partially my fault, of course, because I have drafted the whole document and then I asked to edit. I should have just drafted a vision and then we should have worked on that vision together.
So one thing that, if we look at the abide one thing that I was trying to do, and I think that might be important, is not focusing on how it will help open source too, right? Because it's like, at the end of the day, yes, we want inclusion, we think it's right, whatever. But some people, they just want progress, right? So it's like just making sure it's like, okay, it's not just a feel-good thing and the right thing to do. Like, it's good for open source, right? Like if we have more diverse views. And so I think like if everything we do, we kind of try to make a link to how it will benefit everyone, not that it's just the right thing to do, right? So I think that will make it more appealing to people who may not care as much about diversity, which unfortunately there are a lot of people who say like, well, I'm fine, you know? So, but it's no, everyone should care because it is actually going to make the code better, everything better, and we're all gonna win. So.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. I think emphasizing the value not only for BIPOC but like the entire open source or community can be the vision part, like in a statement. And I think that would help, like trying to write that first sentence that defines what the vision is.
Okay, so the two things are the 2 points. The point that you, Catherine, are raising, and the point in the vision of the charter are not converging, right? So if I look at the vision in the abide, is unlock the full potential of software innovation by fostering a thriving and open source ecosystem that is inclusive and accessible for all. So that is indeed, we want that open source ecosystem to be accessible for everybody. So that's good. Then if we go to the charter, is empower BIPOC individuals to thrive and lead the cloud native and open source ecosystem, fostering a diverse and inclusive community for future generations. So here, so while one was focused on the thriving of the open source ecosystem that is accessible to all and by all, here we are focusing on thriving of the minorities in the open source ecosystem. So I'm not saying that one is wrong and one is right. I'm not saying that. I'm just putting into perspective that there are two that they're not diverging, they are complementary, but the focus on the charter is enable and create opportunity or stimulate opportunity for BIPOC to fit into that abide thing that says accessible for all. Because if we are doing it, I think that if we are doing an initiative like this, is because we do feel that it's not accessible for all. So that the vision is that I think that it's not just improving the open source, but it's improving the open source, it's improving and creating more opportunity for minorities and seek an equal treatment regardless of discriminating or what is a discriminating factor. So
I think that works too, as long because like abide is the overarching one and the audience is different, right? So I think like it might be abide is kind of talking to Linux Foundation leadership, to employers saying this is why it matters. And then we should focus on the product, right? Because that's what they ultimately care about, right? And then having the vision of the individual working groups more focused towards them, because it's also aligned to the other one. Because I think like actually the abide ones are going to be more external facing. So maybe that's fine, you know, because as long as they are kind of aligned, it's just like saying, okay, like leaders of the world of companies and whatever, like, you know, you have to care about this because that's what's going to make your product more profitable, blah, blah. And the other one is talking to the community, you know, like this is why it's important. And then like making it more centric towards the group. So I think that works too.
So is there anything in this vision that you were looking to modify to align with the specifics, William? Or was there something that you thought that might have been missed?
So in that vision, the wording, there is a little bit of, I feel there is a little bit of a weak and opinable wording, like what Catherine mentioned in the empower piece. It makes sense. It's a little bit vague. It's a little bit big word for what are you exactly meaning.
Okay.
We should definitely also be realistic, as Catherine is right. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody wants to do a business, so wants to succeed. So we want the BIPOC community to succeed, but they succeed only if they provide value as well. Well, only if we provide value as well.
Right.
And with that value, we know that we provide it. We know that it's so yes. I don't like negative talks but there is one thing that it buzzed me since a little more than a year at least. But I do a lot of talks, and I say this, I'm diverging a little bit, but I'll come back to this. So I do a lot of talks, and I do well, a lot of talks. I speak a lot in public, and some of you know already that. So I was approached once, and so I always thought that it's awful not having the same chances because you have a different something, and in that case, because we have a different color. And I was approached once, and I was asked if I wanted to speak in a panel because they need a diverse speaker. And then in my head, I completed that sentence that I made before. So it is awful not to have the same chances because you have a different color, but it's very painful to be offered the chance because you have that color, because you have a different color. So I don't want this to become something of a statement. I know I said that before, Destiny. I don't, I don't want this to become a statement of an activist, right? It should be the value of, look, many years ago, it was the Cathedral and Bazaar book was written to explain how Linux became to be so powerful, because it's written in a chorus, like in a kind of an uncontrolled way. So the Bazaar, that means that in the Bazaar you involve everybody. You have a lot of culture. You have a lot of input from everywhere. That's why that final product is valuable, strong. So that element, Catherine, absolutely, there should be what's in it for the final product, but there has to be also the element of it's the right thing to do. It's what it's what the it's what everybody needs.
Yeah. And I have to drop in 5 minutes because I do have another meeting that starts 10 minutes is like chatting
Everybody, we
time, but then it's like, so something just, I know it kind of must feel awful if they invite you to do, but the thing about these systems is because it's always the same people choosing who's going to on a panel. Same thing with like the same people choosing who to employ and so on, right? And so those things are necessary to break the cycle. And sometimes you have to force people, to choose someone because of their color, because otherwise they're not gonna get. And then realize like, oh my God, William, he was really awesome, because you are smart and you're gonna be there, but maybe due to systemic issues, you didn't know the right people. With the right people, I mean the people who always get invited to talk. So it is a mechanism to break the cycle, right? And you have it with women on right now. Like you cannot submit a panel without a woman at KubeCon, and there's so many more men than women. And sometimes it's really difficult, especially if it's on infrastructure kind of topics. There are even less women who are specialized in that. But it's important, right, to force that. So I think the goal of this group is, we already know there are a lot of people with a lot of potential. How do we make them more visible? And sometimes you need these mechanism to push people in front and say like, hey, like we have smart people here, consider them then, so that they get known as their white counterparts are known, because they have got more chances. So I wouldn't necessarily see it always like that. It's just like it's breaking the cycle, and sometimes you need to cheat a little bit because it's not in people's minds. They don't know. And it's always about connections, right?
Yeah, it is true.
It
is true.
So
it is true.
But yeah, I think like a lot like what we're doing. Oh, go ahead, Destiny.
I know I missed half of the meeting, so sorry about that. But just based on what everybody's talking about, we can use this as a center point or a hub point where people see this, they can come here and get help. So like if they want to submit a talk or do something in cloud native open source, this can be the space where they can feel safe to come to people like us, and then we'll be the front runner to tell them, hey, this is the person you need to talk to, this is the person you need to talk to, and stuff like that. Because sometimes what we put in a space and we're like, okay, I don't know who to talk to, I don't know who these people are. But if I look at you and I'm like, hey, can you help me? We see more people like us, we'll more tend to ask each other like, hey, do I talk to you? So I think maybe this would be our focal point where we just invite people to come in and just ask for resources, ask for help, what they can do, help them get to that point. I don't think because I always feel like we're gonna be that token. We're gonna be the one like, hey, can you do this for us so we can have diversity, just like you said. Because I feel that way too. I just want it to be where I'm here. You can come here. You can get help. You can get the resources. You get what you need to get where you want to go. And I think that's what we should have. That like it's more like a safe space for us to come to get those resources instead of feeling like we're being thrown around by a bunch of people when we do go out on open source, because honestly they don't know either. So it's just more of connections, who do we know, and like that. And I think that would be good for us too.
Yes.
Because
Yes, I agree.
I don't want us to focus on like, cause it's the conversation is always going to be uncomfortable. We're always going to feel like we're being pointed out. We're always going to feel like, okay, yeah, sorry, I know we guys gotta go, but yeah, it's
It's all right. It's all right. Thanks, Destiny. And no problem, you were late, and I was also a couple of minutes late, so it's okay.
yeah.
Um, so, what do you think about it, guys? Shall we work a little bit on that vision, improve that statement? That word empower is a little bit bloated.
Yeah,
Um,
it's common. It's the same thing that everybody says in the statement, in the mission, in the because that's what I guess acceptable. And like you said, we're not trying to be negative. We're not trying to put out exactly what we're trying to handle. But I just think it would be better if we just improve it a little bit more, but also say, hey, this is a safe space for you to come and get resources and get where you want to go.
yeah, yeah. All right. So we are a little bit over. Let's do a round table. Let's start from the last one. Mark, do you have anything that you want to add before we close?
So I kind of wrote my kind of like what everyone was saying and tried to like put that in what the vision statement is. And it might be totally off, but hopefully it'll give some ideas. What I wrote was to enable individuals in the cloud native space / community by providing invaluable opportunities to show their full potential. This in turn will foster an inclusive community for future generations.
Put it, Mark. What I suggest, there is good stuff in there. What I suggest is, I see that also Travis just you put something in. What I would suggest is add a comment to that statement, put in your wording, your opinion, something, and
Okay.
and then let's all yeah, let's all discuss. That's what
Okay.
my suggestion is.
Yeah.
So also the
For sure.
people that are not in the meeting, they can also read it.
I agree.
And I don't think we're gonna do something like voting and upvoting. I think that we're just gonna build up something that we're all happy with, because
Oh yeah. Yeah.
voting implies that somebody wasn't happy with it. So
Right. Yeah. But that's that's kind of like what I got out of it. So I'll happy to just add it as a comment and contribute
do
where I
that.
can.
Good. Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
I mean, you can even add the suggestion too. Like you can just put it where you suggest that paragraph. I had to learn that for the
Okay.
deaf group as well. So I'm learning how to use the doc. You can just add it on and add it as a suggestion, and then whoever like you can decide if you want that or not.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Destiny, since you are talking, is there anything you want to say before leaving?
No, I came in super late, so I'm just basing on what I came in and what we talked about. But I'm trying to make it earlier to the next meeting. And
It's okay.
but
It's okay.
everything's good
We
so
went
far.
good. This is what we were talking about anyway. We talked about only
Okay.
about this. Travis,
Okay.
you have anything to add?
Right. Nah, not today. No, I mean, it's just I mean, we work in tech, right? So you have to be like ship my brain to you know, I it's funny because we're in a deaf and hard of hearing group, right? And I was telling people I struggle with advocacy why? Because I moved to the city that has like accessibility for me, for example, if I go to the hospital, Here they have like a team of interpreter on site. They're ready to go to whatever room I'm in. But in another city, you really have to wait for an interpreter to arrive. Like maybe they live like, let's say, half an hour away from where the hospital is. So it's I mean, it's no, like we burned out real sources, so it feel like I can understand why some BIPOC people are not didn't want to get involved because they feel like they've been fighting their whole life, you know what I mean? And to come join this group, it's like why are we doing this again? You know, but yeah. But I mean the work it's not done around the world, so we all need to be here anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I cannot I cannot imagine the struggle that you have to go through, Travis, or in that reading, and I'm of course I'm not happy to know that there is a struggle. So, but yeah, and also in every community, as you say, why do we have to go through this again? Yeah, if we don't, the alternative is that it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's a wrap. I think we have a definite piece of thing to work on is the vision, which without a vision, there is no mission, there is no strategy, there are no goals. So forget about the rest of the document. Look at the vision. If you feel like, if you have time, it's not a stressful thing. If you have time, you guys put your idea in as a suggestion, and let's see.
Yeah, I do have a question, Tom.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's going to TubeCon this year, but we like you know, like word them out. We pass it on. If we see someone, we talk about it. This group and get them, try to recruit them. But I'm not sure. Like, we're not gonna have a booth set up right there. That's my understanding. Okay, so yeah,
Not,
so
yeah.
all right.
Not yet. Not yet. We first need to establish the charter. We need once the charter is ready, then we will ask for an official working group title to the CNCF. But first, we need to do this type of work. Absolutely. If you are, I'm not going to be a KubeCon NA. I will be a KubeCon London next year. But I'm also, when I was speaking in meetups or speaking at conferences, I'm already mentioning that I'm involved in the BIPOC. Please come and join. But it's a very soft, let's say, soft messaging because we don't have an official working group yet. So, but if you guys want to do it, please do it. Absolutely.
Great.
I'll be at
Okay.
KubeCon, so I'll also pass the word along as well.
Nice. Please meet. Send a photo. Send me a
Yes.
photo of you guys meeting.
Will do.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. If that was all, I think we call it, and we meet again in a Slack channel, and at the next meeting. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care.
Thanks,
Good
William.
rest of the day, guys. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.